Hello, my name is David. Let's have a look at this demonstration where we're going to create and review asset accounting entries. In the demonstration, we're looking at the standard accruals method in terms of in the SLA accounting engine, and that's the default accounting that comes with the application. Remember, you can put your own user-defined accounting method that could change some of the accounting entries. So with fixed asset role, the asset accountant responsibility, I'm logging into the asset work area, arriving at the asset landing page. From the task panel, you'll see down the bottom, in terms of towards the bottom anyway, under accounting, we have our 3 tasks. So create accounting. On here, the default is the book. In terms of the processes, this really highlights the event model. Every time I either add, as we've got here, and capital asset, just a capital asset, perhaps transfer, unit adjustments and planned depreciation, all the asset transactions that we've discussed. If it was coming from project costing, perhaps CIP additions, all of these create an event, as it's called in the event model, that when we run the correct accounting, if there's anything in the event model, it will take the accounting rules, in our case standard accruals, plus the transactional data, and it will create a draft subledger journal and then a final subledger journal that we pass through the GL interface table, and it goes then into the general ledger module for financial reporting. You can either run all of the events together, that's the default. If you've got a high volume of additions, high volumes of CIP, then the idea behind the category is you can run each of these events individually. So you account for additions, then you count for adjustments, then you account for CIP, etc. I'm going to accept the dates. I've talked about this draft or final mode. The default is final. Do you want to restrict it for certain events or all events? So we'll leave it as all events. If you want a report, you'd pick a detail report. You then have an option to transfer to GL, not to post, or to transfer and post, which is the default. And you can, in the report from here, introduce what they call the transaction identifiers. So in the event model, there'll be various things such as perhaps asset name, accounting date, start of use asset date. They might be used as particular identifiers, and they will be shown only in the report. And you would submit. Now, I've run this several times during the day, so I don't want to run this again because I've just run it. But normally you'd submit, or you would have that in terms of the advance, have that scheduled to run based on your business requirements. So that could be every hour. It could be once a month. So I've moved over to my enterprise scheduling schedule processes, and you'll see create accounting for assets was recently kicked off. That has a number of child processes, including if you say post to GL, you'll see it says import the journal to GL, post it, and it also creates this final execution report. So if it was warning on error, definitely worth looking at it, but we'll look at it today as well. Again, what I'm going to do is put this into a format that's nice and easy to display. lots of different formats as you would expect with the BI publisher. So let's put that into PDF. So here's my output of the in terms of create accounting execution report. If you scroll down, here's all our events. And I've deliberately done this in July where there's very little data. So there's 2 additions that you didn't see me put in, but there's only 2 additions I've put in. I did 1 transfer between moving it from Colorado to my New York gym, and I ran depreciation as well. So you see majority of the transactions at the moment are depreciation transactions. Also notice we've got both a primary and a reporting currency ledger. So whatever happens in the primary ledger is replicated in the reporting currency ledger. And then you can scroll down here in the report and see the particular aspects. So this one, in terms of notice, is an addition. So we've got a 6,000, as we've seen in the UI various time. We've got 6,000 going to the asset cost and crediting the asset clearing. And I could go down to look at all the entries, including some in terms of the retirements and also the reinstatements. If I come back into the asset landing page and say the task panel and look at the review journal entries, then you can look at the same report in effect online. Here I've gone back into the asset landing page, task panel, and look for review journal entries for the current period. What I can do is drive or narrow them down based on the event class. So if I want to see the accounting for the additions, I can do. And that's a simple debit to the asset cost, credit to the cost clearing. I can maximize the search again. I can then search on transfer, and you'll find there's just a 1 entry moving costs between my perhaps different GL codes and my different locations. And if I clear the event class, it shows everything. And majority of the entries at the moment are in terms of depreciation. And if we scroll down, based on the entries, we've got the different depreciation for each of the depreciation expense codes. That concludes this demonstration of created accounting and then inquiring on the accounting. Again, you can also run various of the standard asset reports to help you in terms of with reconciliation or understanding the accounting of the in terms of various event entries. Thanks for watching. Please move on.